Here there. Recently I joined a group of developers who use Jira as their task manager and Git for their repositories. And they have very specific naming convention for their Git branches. Basically, each branch is supposed to contain the Jira ticket number, followed by the summary and prefixed with some specific line of text. And I would say it is a very common practice actually to use the Jira ticket number and summary in the Git branches. Unfortunately, in this case, there is no integration between Jira and Git, which means that developers just supposed to follow this naming convention when they create their branches manually. So I decided to create some bash script which would do it for them automatically to make my and their lives a little bit easier. And I'm also making this video so you could follow my steps. So take a look at this repository. It has only two files at the moment, local properties and make branch script with some git ignore configuration. So to access Jira, you would need some additional stuff which you would actually put to this local properties file. 3 lines basically. So you would need to first to specify the URL, domain name of your specific Jira. Then you would need to provide an email which you use to access Jira, and also you need to provide the API token for your Jira. If you don't have an API token, or if you don't know if you have, just go to your profile in Jira, click Manage your account, switch to the Security tab, scroll down to the API tokens section, and click Create and Manage API tokens. It would follow you to the API tokens manager, where you would be able to create your first token to be used in this script or in any other script or any other third-party solution. All right. After you would put your API token to the local properties, don't forget actually to go to the git ignore and put the local properties file there, because I suggest you don't want to leak your token or any personal data to the shared repository. All right, and after that we could start to work on the make branch script. So it's the good practice to start implementing any script with implementing the help instructions. So what is this? When developers use your script for the first time, usually they execute it with an argument -h or double -help or just help. And in this case, they expect that your script would print some instruction to the terminal explaining how to use it. So let's implement the show help function, which is going to do exactly this thing. So we are going to use the cat over here to print multiple lines of text at the same time. So everything which we would put between these two EOFs is going to be printed out. And after that, we are going to just finish the script with the code 0, which means the successful finish of the script. So what would you put there? So I suggest to use next format. Let me copy paste it here. So first of all, print how the script supposed to be used. In this case, $0 is the argument with the index 0, with which the script was executed, which is the full subdirectory name of the script. Follow it by the issue key. Let's be more specific, Jira issue key. So it would be something like make branch prod 1234 or any other ticket number. So it creates a Git branch from a Jira issue, which states here. It has one argument, Jira issue key. The example is prod 1234. In your case, you have your own projects, so it could be iOS 7.6.5 or dev 3.2.1, whatever, right? And it creates the branch. The branch will be created as feature/sanitize issue summary. This feature/ is my specific requirement. You would probably have your own requirements or your own format of your Git branch names. So feel free to change it. And there are next requirements for running this script. Well, first of all, the script is going to read from the local properties, which is located in the root, right? And to easily locate and read the file, it's better for the script to be run from the same directory again and again, all the times. So I would expect that the script is going to be run from the root of the Git repository. And the second requirement is that all these fields for Jira, URL, email, and API tokens in the local properties supposed to be provided and set up. And finally, well, some more examples to be printed over here. So let's check how it's going to look by executing this script. So we're executing the script with --help, for example, and it prints out exactly what we were expecting from the, right? Nice. Now let's proceed to an implementation of the actual script. First of all, let's check the directory. So the directory is supposed to contain the .git subdirectory, right? And if it's not, then we're supposed to, well, stop the execution of the script and exit with some code, for example, with some non-zero code, for example, 1. And it's better also to inform the developer or the user what happened. So let's print out some echo error must be run from the root of a Git repository. Let's try this out. Let's go to the script subdirectory and try to execute the script from there. Yeah, we are receiving this exact message. And if we are going back and trying to execute it from here, then nothing happens as expected. Cool. Now let's check for the Jira issue key, which is supposed to follow the script. So it's going to be provided as the first argument. So we could copy and paste it to some local variable named issue key. Now let's check that it is not empty, right? That it is not nil and so on. So for that, we are going to use the -z issue key. And if it is empty, if there is no issue key provided, then, well, we need to exit with another non-zero code and print another kind of error. For example, issue key task number is required, and the example of usage. So let's try now to execute the script without task number. Yeah, so as you see, it prints this error exactly as expected. Cool. So now we need actually to get these 3 values from the local properties file. And to do this, let's create the get local property function. Well, it's going to be a function which gets the value from the local properties by its key. So the key is going to be a first argument of that. So let's store it in some local key variable. Also, well, we would need the file name to read the value from. So let's specify it here, like as file local properties. And finally, let's specify the line of code, the line of text which we are reading from the file. So we are going to read it using the grep. So what we are looking for in the file is the key followed by the equal symbol. There could be multiple actually lines with this key. So let's look for the first one using the -m1 argument. Also, we are looking in the file only, right? And also let's redirect the error output for this grep to nowhere, and if grep fails for some reason, we are going to just pretend that nothing happens. After this, we could check that the line contains something, just like we checked the issue key. And if so, then we are going to just return some error code like 1 from the get local property. Well, otherwise we have our line and we need to extract the value from this line. And well, let's do it with the next expression. So over here, this line expression removes everything from the line after the first equal symbol. The tier -d removes any double quotes, and printf actually prints everything without putting a new line, right? So now we are able to use the get local property to get our Jira URL, email, and API token. So let's get them. So Jira URL, for example, we could get from the get local property, and as the key we are going to use the Jira URL. And if it returns 1, right, then it means that, well, the value wasn't found in the file. So we need again to print some error and exit the script with some code. Let's use the new error in the new code, something like local properties missing Jira URL, for example, and code 3. Now let's do the same for everything else, for email and for the API token. Right. And here as well, we're going to use the Jira API token. Okay, and let's also use different codes for each exit. Okay, so we have everything, and finally we are able to actually do the remote request using the default curl, for example. So let's put the result of it to the response variable. So here we are executing the curl, as we are going to execute it silently. The response is going to contain a JSON object, but also I would like to have the HTTP code somewhere. So let's also follow the output with the new line followed by the HTTP code, right? And also we need some authorization credentials over here, which are our email, right? Follow it by the Jira API token. Okay. And finally, the final line, it's the URL of this request. So we are going to use the Jira URL, follow it by the REST API. I'm going to use API version 3. Issue, here we need to provide our issue key, right? Like this. And as for the fields which we require to get, we need only the summary. Okay, now let's try to check what do we have in the response after all these manipulations. Yeah, like this. So I'm going to execute the script using the Jira task number, which I'm sure exists. Yeah. So as you can see, we got the JSON as the response, and we've also followed it by the HTTP code. This is exactly what we are looking for. Now let's actually extract the HTTP code from the response. So for that we are going to use the echo response. So we need to use just the tail of the response, like the last line. So let's use it like this. And after that we could check like if the code is 200, right? So if this is equal to 200, then, well, we could, for example, print the empty line. Else, we could check for any other status codes, for example, for 404, which would mean that the issue is not found, and we could, for example, print it out like an error and exit with another code. And finally, for all the other HTTP codes, we could print something like unexpected HTTP code and print it out. Okay, now let's check, for example, with the ticket number, which doesn't exist for sure. Yeah, and as you can see, we receive this error. All right, now let's actually extract the body from our response. So here we again are going to use the echo response. But this time we need actually to drop the last line. So let's use the sed $D. Right. And well, as I said, as you saw, the body is the JSON, and we need to get the summary from this JSON. So let's extract the summary. So from the body, and here we are going to use the JSON parser. So it's the JQ, the raw output. Over here we are going to check for the fields property, and inside fields we are looking for summary. And after that, let's just print out the summary as is to check if it works as expected. So we're executing for the known task. Yeah, so the output is iOS clarify inverse alternative button colors, which is exactly what I was expecting. However, we are not able to use this text as is for the Git branch. Let's modify it a little bit. Let's create the formatted summary, for example. So again, we are going to use the echo, but this time for the summary. And my idea is that we could just replace all the characters in this text, which are not letters of the alphabet or numerals, with the underscore. So we could do something like this with using the regular expression. So if it's not the letter or the capital letter or number from 0 to 9, then it is replaced with the underscore. Let's check the formatted summary output after this. Yeah. So as you can see, well, we have all the characters replaced with the underscore. However, we have the underscore prefix and we have underscore duplicates. And actually, potentially, we could even have the underscore suffix. So I suggest to remove them. For that, we are going to enrich our regular expression. So first of all, we are going to remove any duplicates, triplicates, and any multiple underscores with the single one. After that, we are going to drop the prefix, underscore prefixes, and after that we are going to drop the underscore suffixes. All right, let's check how it looks right now. Yeah, much better. This is exactly what I was expecting. And finally, let's create the branch name. So it is going to be, as I said, I need the feature prefix. Here we are going to inject the issue key, which is going to be followed by the formatted summary. So yeah, something like this. And the final step is actually now to execute the git check out -b, means branch, with the branch name. And after that, we could exit the script with the status code 0. Right? Let's check it. Yeah, amazing. So we've created a new branch and switched to this. And if you would execute something like a git status, you would see that currently we are on the branch with this new name. Amazing. So that's it for today. If you have any questions or requirements, then put them to the comment section. Actually, I would put also a link to this exact repository to the description of this video. If you would also like to check out how to inject the Jira ticket number or name to each commit message in your repository, then check out for my next video. And that's it for today. See you next time. Cheers!